Hi there, my name is GT Okanse. You are welcome to my channel once again. Today we are looking at what we call conditional sentences. Conditional sentences are also called conditional clauses or if clauses. So these sentences always have an if in there. What it means is that the sentence has two parts. It has the main clause and then the conditional clause. The main clause is the part that doesn't have the if. It means that the main clause can only be fulfilled when the condition in the if clause is fulfilled. Let's take an example. If my friend comes, we will go to the library. It means that we will only go to the library if my friend comes. So if my friend comes is the if clause, and then we'll go to the library is the main clause. This is what I mean by the main clause and then the if clause. Right, now we'll look at the types of conditional sentences. Basically, there are four conditional sentences in the English language. We have the zero conditional, type 1, type 2, and then type 3. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at these four conditions and how each of them is formed and circumstances under which we can make these sentences. So we start with the zero conditional. This is used in a situation where the concept or the idea is generally true, things that happen automatically. Let's take this example. If you do not take your bath for 3 days, you will smell. This is a true concept, I should say, that if you don't take your bath for some number of days, what naturally happens is that you are going to smell. Let's look at another example. If a glass falls from a height, it will break. This is another example of a zero conditional, meaning that it doesn't even need any condition to happen. What happens is that once the glass falls from the height, it will break. That is what happens naturally. The second is the type 1 conditional sentence, what we call the simple present conditional sentence. A simple present conditional sentence is used in situations where the condition is likely to be fulfilled. The condition is possible and likely to be fulfilled. And so we use the simple present tense. We use a simple formula to form type 1 conditional sentences. We have if plus present tense of the verb plus will plus a future tense. Let's take this example. If I find her address, I will send her an invitation. If I find her address, I will send her an invitation. So in there you find the if right there. Then if I find the verb, the present tense of the verb find is there, and then I will, W-I-L-L, is used over there, and then send, which is also the present tense of the verb. So with the simple present conditional, this is how it is formed. If plus present tense of the verb plus will plus the future, what is likely to happen. The third is the type 2 conditional sentence. This is what we also call the simple past conditional sentence. The simple past conditional sentence is used in situations where it is the condition is impossible and unlikely to happen, and so it requires the past tense, mostly because whatever happened in the past makes it impossible for the condition to be fulfilled. In this case also, the formula is if plus the simple past tense of the verb plus would, W-O-U-L-D, would, plus a simple present tense of the next verb in the main clause. For the if clause, you have if plus simple past, and then in the main clause, you have would plus the simple present tense of the verb. Look at this example. If John had money, he would buy a Ferrari. if John had money, he would buy a Ferrari. So you have if, and then John had. That is the past tense of the verb has. If John had money, he would buy. That is also the simple present that was indicated in the formula. He would buy a Ferrari. That is a simple past conditional sentence. Then the third one is the last one. We have had 3 so far. We've mentioned the zero conditional, the type 1 conditional, which is also known as the simple present conditional sentence. We've had the third example, that is type 2, the simple past conditional sentence. And then finally we look at the past perfect conditional sentence, which is type 3 condition. This is used where the condition will not happen because something which should have happened in the past to make the condition be fulfilled did not happen, and so the condition is simply impossible. It is impossible. Let's look at the formula. This time we have the if clause plus the past perfect tense of the verb plus would plus the past participle of the verb. That is in the first part of the sentence, that is the if clause. You have the if plus had, the verb plus had, and then in the main clause you have would have plus the verb, the past participle of the verb. Let's look at this example. If you had told me you needed a ride, I would have left earlier. If you had told me you needed a ride, I would have left earlier. Another example. If I had cleaned the house, I could have gone to the movies. If I had cleaned the house, I could have gone to the movies. There's another example. If I had found her address, I would have sent her an invitation. By these examples, you will notice that there is the past perfect tense of the verb in the if clause, and then would plus past participle in the main clause of the sentence. So before we end it, let's go quickly over what we have done today. We've had 4 types of conditional sentences. The zero conditional, which is used in situations where the concept is generally true and agreed on by everyone. Then the type 1 conditional sentence, that is also known as the simple present condition, which is used where the condition is likely to be fulfilled and is possible. And we went on to the type 2 conditional sentence, which is simple past, and this time around it is used where the condition is not likely to be fulfilled, sometimes impossible. And then we went on finally to type 3 conditional sentence, the past perfect condition, and this time it is impossible because something which should have happened in the past to make it possible for the condition to be fulfilled did not happen, and so the condition is totally impossible to be fulfilled. These are the 4 conditionals we have in the English language. Before I go, I'll ask you to kindly subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here. You can also check the cards out there. You might have seen some of our previous lessons, and so you can go back to watch and then learn more from what we have done in the past. Thank you, and I'll see you